Hey guys, welcome into another weekly portfolio update. Gonna start off here by talking about crypto. So crypto has just been an absolute bull run recently. This week, no exception. You can see that there's some really impressive numbers showing up in the coin price. So if you look over on the left here, it's got all the prices there. Ethereum 3200. Ethereum's lagging a bit behind at the moment, but Bitcoin almost 49,000, is doing great. DOT back up to $28, $29. XRP $1.26. It's been up to like $1.30 or so. Cardano $2.48. It's been growing huge recently. It's gone on a massive run. Theta's lagging a bit behind as well, although it's had an 8% day today, so doing pretty well today. And I have been slowly selling off some crypto to reduce my margin. So as you can see, I got 326 negative USDT. I think last week it was probably in the 600s or so, so I've sold about 300 US dollars of crypto. So these are my position sizes. I've sorted them from largest to smallest. So my largest position being Theta. So this is in New Zealand dollars now, this column here. Theta, largest one, then Cardano, Ethereum. So these have grown to these position sizes. They weren't previously this big. Ethereum was my biggest, but yeah, it's been overtaken. XRP, BNB, Raven, DOT, and then gets less and less conviction as you go down the list, all the way down to like Doge and T-Fuel at the bottom. Well, probably higher conviction on T-Fuel than ETC actually, but and Doge. But I hold Theta, so T-Fuel was just like I wonder which one will actually do better. Same thing. Theta Fuel and Theta, slightly different uses, but same kind of fundamental around it. You're kind of betting on the same system. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is for crypto this week. My crypto portfolio is $7,500 New Zealand dollars, and I've put in 2,000 New Zealand dollars. So yeah, up 200 and something percent. Over to stocks now. So my portfolio is sitting at 56,000. I did add 1,000 this week, so my cost basis is 43,000, which means I'm up $13,000. I did make a lot of moves this week, so I'll set this here so you guys can have a look at all my positions and stuff while I read this out. So on Monday, I sold my full Cirrus Logic position. I didn't really want to, but I had to in order to purchase Tattooed Chef and Corsair Gaming shares. I also sold 10 of my Dropbox shares, and from those two sells, I used them to buy $370 of Corsair Gaming, this is US dollars, and $500 US dollars of Tattooed Chef. And then Tuesday, they continued to drop a lot. So I went over to my Hatch portfolio and I sold my full Dropbox position in Hatch, which was quite significant. It was almost 2,000 New Zealand dollars of that position. I really didn't want to sell Dropbox, but I had to sell something, and Dropbox is doing really well, and I'd rather sell something that's currently like at the high end of the pendulum swing as opposed to the low end. So yeah, I sold Dropbox. That allowed me to buy 600 US dollars of Tattooed Chef and 600 US dollars of Corsair Gaming. And then moving on to Wednesday, they kept dropping. Tattooed Chef and Corsair Gaming. Tattooed Chef not that day, just Corsair Gaming and Smile Direct Club I went for that day. So I added 1k because it was payday. I added 1k into my Sharesies account, and I used that to buy $330 of Corsair Gaming and $350 of Smile Direct Club. Following that, Thursday, Corsair Gaming continued to fall. I think this is when I got my best buy price for Corsair Gaming. It was like low 25s on Thursday. I think I got in like crazy low actually. It wasn't a super big buy. I'll see if I can find it. Sorry, you may notice that I'm on computer here today. I'm on laptop. So yeah, borrowed family member's laptop in order to make these videos. Hopefully if this works out alright, I'll be using this laptop to make the videos. So I got in at $25.19 for $600 US. If we look over at how low it actually got that day. Oh, this is the 5 day, so I don't know that it'll show the very bottom of the like intraday price. But yeah, it shows 25.14, so extremely close to the bottom that day, and got $600 US in there. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that one, although not so happy that they had both dropped so much, Tattooed Chef and Corsair Gaming. It was a huge drop. I really wasn't expecting them to drop that much. It's pretty crazy. Friday, I didn't make any moves. Corsair Gaming did go back down on Friday, come back down towards the end of the day, back into the 25s, but generally it moved up, so I wasn't going to buy when it had moved up, and also, again, out of money. Yeah, and Tattooed Chef, we had a significant green day in there. Was it Thursday? No, Friday. Yeah, Friday was the green day. Yeah, 4.9%. So, day just been. Yeah, I think that, well, I mean, this is not financial advice, and don't listen to anything I say because I'm not qualified at all, but I kind of feel like Tattooed Chef is bottom. It's got strong resistance at $16, and I don't really know that it's going to go any lower. You can see there I've seen it go as low as $15.99, but on the graph it only shows 16. But yeah, I really don't feel that it's going to go any lower than that. Like, if you look at the 6-month graph, you can see it's hit that support level once and it bounced off of it pretty fast. Here we've kind of hit it a couple of times, but yeah, I can't really see us going much lower. Fairly solid support level, I would say. But yeah, I have a very large position in Tattooed Chef now. Corsair, I have absolutely no idea how low it'll go. If you look on the 1 year, we're up. Not that I've held it 1 year, I'm down on my position. But if you look at the 6 month, it's just been 6 months of steady decline. So yeah, I really can't say where I even think that it'll bottom. But what I can say is that I think it's trading at a very good valuation. Every time I get hesitant, I see it dropping so much, and I get hesitant, and I just start pulling up on Yahoo Finance. I pull up the valuation and the growth chart and all the financials, and I just start looking at them and looking at the company that I'll sell, and I just see like this is definitely a better place to put my money. Like Corsair Gaming is trading at ridiculously low valuation at the moment. And I look at the company that I'm looking to sell, like when I did it with Shopify was just so overvalued, it was crazy. And yeah, if looking at my current holdings, so I've sorted them here by market cap. Square would be the next stock that I would look at selling if I were going to be selling something over the following week in order to purchase other stocks, because it's a large market cap and it's performing quite well. I'm up 40% and it trades at quite a high valuation. I know that fintech kind of demands quite a high valuation, but that valuation kind of gives me a little bit of stress, even though I love this stock and I think they're going to do great in the future. Just the fact that it has such a high valuation, like the more companies I hold with a higher valuation, the more risk I'm taking and the greater chance that my portfolio will continue to dip like significant amounts more. And yeah, I'd rather take that risk off the board if there is a better place to put my money. But if Corsair Gaming and Tattooed Chef and Small Direct Club just go up and up and up from here, then I probably won't sell Square, because I still do like the company and I really hate selling stocks. Sometimes it's necessary, like last week, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to average down on my Tattooed Chef and Corsair Gaming. This shows my remaining Dropbox shares. I've only got 40 shares left, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. 3,800 US dollars in Corsair Gaming there, and 1,600 in Tattooed Chef here. And then the other halves of those positions are over in my Hatch account. So Tattooed Chef, 5,188, Corsair Gaming, 3,100. As you can see, significantly down on both of those positions. 20% on Corsair, 11% Tattooed Chef. I was down, when it was at 16.01, I was down more on Tattooed Chef than I was on Corsair Gaming. I think across the board I might still be, because this Corsair Gaming's down 4.9%, and this Tattooed Chef's down 7.2%. I tend to put more money into Sharesies account because it's got more. It's easier to buy like small amounts, and now it's got all the stocks that I used to buy that weren't on Sharesies. They're now on Sharesies. So yeah, I tend to use the Sharesies account more, which is why the cost bases are lower, because I've been averaging down in this one. Yeah, if we have a look, you can see the forward PE of 112 there. This one doesn't have my position size, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I believe I'm at 11,000 NZ dollars in Tattooed Chef and around 10,000 in Corsair Gaming. So considering my portfolio size is $56,000, like it's starting to get into some pretty high numbers for me, like 20% of my portfolio in one stock, 40% of it in two stocks. That's pretty large. I don't specifically mind that because I do have high conviction in those two stocks. In fact, I would actually kind of prefer to reduce my number of positions. I do hold quite a few like smaller positions. Also, you'll notice that I hold like quite a lot of small market cap positions, like under 10 bill, got quite a few. Between 10 and 100, it's a bit less, and then over 100, only one. So I don't, at the moment, I'm not super keen to own large caps because most of their valuations are extremely high. So yeah, wanting to avoid, although you might notice that some of the valuations in these stocks that I hold are still pretty high. A lot of them are negative forward PEs, but yeah, I've kind of calculated the risks and versus reward, and a lot of those high valuation companies actually have extremely high growth, and they're in they're in kind of sectors or whatever that demand those sort of valuations. So there's no way I can get into those sectors, into the best stock in those sectors without paying those valuations. Yeah, Square is the one that kind of has me on edge. Might look at selling it. Oh, and I also know that ARK Invest is selling. I don't know how much they're selling, like what. It's hard to know when they. I get the email updates of what they're selling, and it just says the percentage of the ETF that they've sold of that stock, but then it doesn't say the percentage of that position that they've sold. Because if they've sold like 1% of the ETF, that was Square stock or something, but that was like 100% of the Square position, that'd be a very bearish sign. But if that 1% of the ETF was actually only like 10% of the Square position, then it wouldn't be so bearish. But yeah, I'm not really sure like how much of the position they actually sold out of. So yeah. Also, these mid caps, not particularly fond of owning mid caps at the moment either. But I really like, when I look at like the specific stocks that I've got, I feel pretty comfortable with these ones. Some of them less so than others, but yeah, comfortable enough to keep them. I believe they will outperform the market over the next couple of years, and definitely outperform. I believe this portfolio will definitely outperform over the next 10 years. I tried to pick like long-term investments. Not to say that I won't necessarily change my mind and sell them, but I like to pick them for long-term investments. Yeah, that's pretty much everything for stocks this week. Yeah, portfolio is down for the week. This number here is not my total gain. It's just because when I buy and sell, or sell and buy positions, the math doesn't like it. So technically, all the stocks that I currently own have brought me down from what I paid for them. But because I was up from other stocks previously, that's fine. And it's probably a bad habit, but I tend to sell the ones that are up significantly in order to fund ones that are down, which is why that number gets a bit skewed. But yeah, had one solid green day this week, last day of the week, 1.2k up, kind of reducing the losses this week. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. On the house side, I received my first rental payment, which is great. Pretty much from now on, I should probably put a little bit more in my house account than is currently in it to build up a bit of an emergency fund. But other than that, I pretty much won't have to pay any of the house expenses from now on. Like all the rates, insurance, mortgage will all be paid for. Obviously, at the end of the tax year, I'll have tax to pay because of certain things, but yeah, can't even deduct everything anymore. But yeah, that's all good. It is what it is. I'll talk to an accountant and structure it the best way I can in order to pay the least amount of tax, because technically I'm not making a profit on any of it. It's all just covering the expenses. It's just enough to cover the expenses. It is not enough for vacancies, and it's not enough for maintenance or capital expenditure either. But I feel like that's fine, because I hold a valuable asset because of that. And if there's ever a market downturn or anything, ever in financial trouble, I couldn't find anywhere to live or anything, I could just move into the house, and then that kind of alleviates my issues. I've always owned that house, and yeah, have the option to move into it, or I can live somewhere cheaper and yeah, continue to rent it, which I feel like is the best option. But yeah, no worries on that front, and I'll have more money to put into stocks. Also getting a little bit of extra pay at work at the moment. So yeah, I should hopefully, while there's a few stocks down, be able to put a couple more thousand in, maybe get my total cost basis up to 45,000, and then maybe start building up the cash levels after that, because I have next to nothing in cash. Got like 1K emergency fund in my house fund, and that's not really enough. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Leave a like and subscribe, and a comment to support the YouTube channel if you'd like. See ya.